Hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So today I wanted to do the normal outlook video normally do for Euro USD and Pound USD. So here on Euro USD, let me put so here. So I was supposed to upload the video earlier, I think somewhere around yesterday, day before yesterday, but I was really busy, so I didn't have the time to record and upload the video, but still wanted to do the video today. And yesterday, I actually recorded the video yesterday, but I think I had some kind of network issue and the session kept disconnecting and reconnecting, so I just had to quit recording it and maybe record it another time, so which is what I'm doing now, and that's like the reason why we are getting the video late today. So here on Euro USD daily charts. So from what we had from our previous videos, from the structural idea and everything we had from our previous video, I said that we were bearish on the daily time frame. That's judging from the structure we have here from somewhere around July 2021. Yeah, so somewhere around here, that's when we became bearish, and we've been bearish since that time up until now. So for me, I don't really think the market is going to turn bullish anytime soon. Like, I don't really know when it will happen, but what we have to do is keep following that bearish structure. Like, just keep following that bearish structure until everything changes. And we will try as much as possible not to forecast or try to anticipate too much when the reversal will happen in the markets. We just trade what we see. So here on the daily time frame, we have a break of structure here. So the price has not pushed, and we have a lower low here. So we had this pullback phase, which I explained in my previous videos. Talked about this pullback here. We also talked about some of the trades we took within this range and how we took those trades. So here, you know that, and I also say that if we get the pullback, we want to see price come back to maybe this supply range here, or just maybe the bottom of this whole range here, like this whole range. So, and when we got the pullback, that's what actually happened. Like, we just tapped the bottom of the range. I think price did come into this supply zone. So we had price tap into the supply zone, and then we've just continued that bearish structure. And I also say that if price is going to respect this zone here, if price is going to respect this zone, we could see our lower high form here. Now this high here, this high we have here is not our lower high at the moment. It's not our lower high here. It's particular, it's not our lower high at the moment. So we need to see price push out and make a lower low that's breaking this low. So until price makes a lower low, this high cannot be our lower high. So we'll just wait for price to make that lower low, because that's what makes sense based on the structure of the 15th. So based on the structure of the daily time frame, that's what makes sense. We want to see price make a lower low. So last week, we saw price push all the way down to this low. So, and from the video I uploaded last week, I see that the flower time frame, so a bit less clearer. So here on the flower, when we had this break of structure here, we had this when price broke below this low. So I said that I wanted to see price, pull back to maybe this supply here before going down to take out this daily low here. But that didn't happen. So from Monday till somewhere around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like price just kept pushing down like to this low. So we did look for some trades here, like somewhere within here, and did take some buys and some sells within this range as from last week, which I'll talk about after the outlook. So here on the 4 hour time frame, since we've had that break of structure, we've had this break of structure here, we had this break of structure here. We didn't really get a huge pullback, like price kind of like bust somewhere here, and then just kept going down. And I think on Friday we got like a sharp move above this highs here, coming into this supply range here. And if we look at this, if we look over here, we can see that we have some kind of shifts in order flow here. That we have some kind of demand gaining control of the market. That's when we had a break above this high. So after the break above this high, so price pulled back into this new demand range, which is here. We had like this as our new demand range. So price pulled back into that new demand range. So we could maybe look for buys within here or maybe the extreme this week and then continue that bullish order flow. So we had another break of demand here. So this is like our new demand range. So we had this as maybe our new demand range this low or something like this. So normally we just expect price to pull back into the range, respect the demand zones within the range, and then continue to form a new demand range which it formed here. We also want to see the same thing, price respects the demand range and continue. So right now we have price within this particular range. We have price within this range. And since the order flow of the market is still bullish, we just want to see price. We want to see price respect this zone, and then maybe continue that bullish order flow. But from the way the structure of the market is forming, that's from what we have on the daily, we know that on the daily time frame, price is more likely going to push down to make that daily lower low. So, and for us to maybe take a trade in the direction of that lower low, we need to see the 4 hour time frame align with the daily time frame because the daily time frame structure is bullish. And here on the 4 hour, we have sorry, the daily time frame structure is bearish, and here on the 4 hour time frame, we have bearish market structure also, but we do not have bearish order flow. We have bullish order flow instead here because of these demand ranges here, which were created and respected. So you can see that the order flow on the 4 hour is bullish, but structure is bearish. So we need to see both structure and order flow align. That's we need to see the 4 hour structure. You know how the 4 hour structure is bearish, and now we have like some kind of bullish order flow pulling back. So we need to see that alignment. Mm. So let me say we have something like this. We have this to be our 4 hour structure. That's after we had this break construction here. So we need to see, let me see, when price was pulling back up here, say forming some kind of bullish order flow. That's price creates now respecting demand zones. So we need to see price start breaking those demand zones and respecting supply zones. So that once that happens, we can say that the order flow on the 4 hour time frame is now well aligned with the structure. That's we have bearish structure. So we also want to see bearish order flow. So once that happens, we can be sure that price will be coming for this low. And then we can look to take sales from maybe supply ranges that will be created later on as price pushes down. So that's how we normally look at price. So going over to the charts here. So here we know that the order flow in the market is still bullish. So we need to see price break this low. So once price breaks this low on the 4 hour, then we can maybe look for the pullback and then look to take sales to maybe take out this low and make a proper lower low on the daily time frame. So that's how we'll be looking at it on the 4 hour time frame. So going over to the 15-minute time frame here. So here on the 15-minute time frame, we can see that the structure, the 4 hour bullish order flow we had is actually a bullish market structure on the 15-minute time frame. So that's why it's important we like combine these time frames because let me say when the 4 hour time frame is that's for when the 4 hour time frame structure is bearish and the 15-minute structure is bullish. For me, it's not really well aligned. Like we need to see like both time frames, like they need to be some kind of alignment between them in the sense that we want to see if the 4 hour is bearish, we want to see a bearish market structure. That's we want to be trading in the direction of a bearish market structure on the lower time frames. Same thing applies to the daily time frame. The daily time frame is bearish. We want to be trading the direction of that bearish structure. That's we need to see the 4 hour time frame become bearish, and then we take that same idea down to the 15 minutes. We want to see a bearish 15-minute structure, and we can also take it down to the 1 minute for our entries. So we also need to see that bearish structure on the 1 minute for us to take those sales. So here on the 15-minute time frame, what we had initially as a bullish order flow on the 4 hour, which was this, is actually like it's actually a break construction. These are we have like a break construction here. So price has now pushed up. We formed a new higher high here, and then we have this push down again. Price makes that higher low. So when price is making higher highs and higher lows, we can see that the structure of the market is bullish. So we have this push up again, another higher high, and now price has pushed down higher low. So this is just it is like don't even know what to call it, but it's actually very clean that the structure here on the 15 is actually very clean. So these are the type of trees we want to be picking. So we have this new high here on the 15 minutes, and now price is kind of like within this demand zone here. So since the 15 minutes structure is bullish, like we have this pullback now. So if price should is going to continue the bullish structure, price would want to push up and then break above this high. So we do not really know what would happen next. Like we don't know what is going to happen. So we just need to wait and see if price is to respect this demand zone here. Price is going to respect it. Then it will have to maybe break above this high, and then we can look for long swing price pulls back, and then look to take out this high. But if that doesn't happen, we can wait for that breakout structure, which will be somewhere here, and then we can look to take that pullback into the range, and then look for those sells. So it should be maybe prepared for both scenarios. So I think that's it for think this Euro USD. So going over to pound USD. So daily time frame. So here on pound USD, we have this. We had a bearish market structure. Is basically the same as that of Euro USD, and we've talked about some of these price actions here from in the previous videos. So if you haven't, or maybe if you want to know what really happened here, you can check out some of those videos. And yeah, so here on the far we have a bearish market structure, and we talked about this pullback phase and then this continuation. And I also gave reasons as to why I didn't use this as my trading range high. Instead, I use this high and this low as my trading range. And I see that if price should break above this high and come into this particular range, then I'll be interested in taking a sell from maybe anything within here once I get the confirmations, and then still target this daily low. So here on the daily time frame, we say that since we had this break of structure here and this we had our pullback, I know that the structure of the market is bearish. So we want to see price continue that bearish structure. That's we want to see price push down and make that lower low. It should be somewhere here. That's price breaking this low and making a new lower low. So last week we did see price get like we did get some kind of run below this low and kind of rejected it and then ranged a little bit. But when the market closed on Friday, I didn't really consider this candle closing here as my clear breakout structure. So I want to see more than one candle close below this low. So I want to see price really like push that, maybe give an extra candle or maybe two below this low. Then I can say I will have a breakout structure. And then maybe it's either we just continue looking for those cells, maybe somewhere down here, even if we get a break below this low. And until price maybe gives us sign that it wants to pull back maybe to this supply range or just to this one here, then we can just keep taking those cells because that's what makes sense. That's what makes sense, right? So here on the 4 hour time frame, we have both bearish structure and bearish order flow. And here, so here for me, I think the poundage is a lot clearer. So we can either wait for, since we have price breaking this low here, we have price breaking this low here. We can see that these are new supply range from this high to this low here. You can see these are new supply range. So if price should maybe pull back into the range, then we can look for sales from maybe this engulfed candle here, or maybe you can increase the wick to be your whole zone, and then you can look for sales when price comes into the supply range again, and just continue that bearish structure. So I think that's actually it for pound USD for our chart. So going over to the 15 minutes. Don't really have much here on the 15 minutes. Mm, yeah, I'm also looking at this particular low here. That's this low here. I'm actually looking at it. Maybe if price should, I think price might just maybe come into this particular range and maybe just tap this low and then continue. Then because I'm looking at this as some kind of a single bullish candle. I know there are multiple candles here, but I'm just looking at it as a single bullish candle, and then we have like this another bearish candle engulfing. So this is like an engulfed candle to me. So that's just how I just want to look at it, but get the idea. So I think that's it for pound USD. So we'll see how the week develops, and then we'll make some adjustments. And yeah, so over here, let me go to weekly recap some of the trades I took on Euro USD, and then some of them on gold. So here on this trade, it was somewhere here. So we had this bearish push here, and I remember from the last recap I did, I said that if price should break above this high, that's I think price was somewhere here. So I said if price should pull back and break above this high, then we'll most likely be getting that the 4 hour pullback I was talking about. But that didn't happen. So I just continued following the structure. For me, I think it's very important you follow the trend. Like if the structure of the market is bearish, like if it's bearish at the moment, even though you want to see some kind of higher time frame pullback, you need to wait for it to happen first. You don't start looking for buys, or you don't start drawing a supply or demand zones from maybe last 3 years and then bringing them forward and say maybe you want to take some kind of buy. Say for me, doesn't they don't usually work well for me, so that's why I don't use them. I just follow that particular structure. If the structure changes, then I know it's changed, then I can just adapt and keep trading. So here on the on Euro USD, we were clearly bearish here, and from the way the price action was, price wasn't really going to like for me there was no pullback. Like price wasn't really going to pull back that particular time. So here, let me go to 1 minute so to get that clear. So the first trade I took on Monday was actually a break-even trade. Let me just talk about this one. So the reason why I took the trade was I was looking at this. I was saying, okay, flying is kind of like in a push phase. We have this supply range where we can see that maybe this was like a break of structure, and this like a single push down. And when we have like a single push down like this, we normally get a pullback maybe into the bottom of the range before the continuation. So I just wanted to trade that pullback. So when I saw this run on sell side liquidity here, when I saw this run on sell side liquidity here, and I also got it was London session last week Monday. So I had break of structure on sell side liquidity. So I don't normally take my trades from the first pullback. So I normally wait for the second one. So when we had one on sell side liquidity, break of structure here, and then this like our first pullback respecting the range and breaking out that structure here. So that was when I decided to take the trade from this. That's when I decided to take the trade from this engulfed candle here. That was my entry, and my stop loss was just a few pips below this low. And I was actually targeting this supply range, but I think my TP was somewhere within up here within the range. The price doesn't actually get there. So, and what I normally do is I normally set my trades to break even whenever I get my that 1 minute break of structure. So I just move it to break even. So I moved the trade to break even after we had this break here. I didn't really passion anything, but then price pushed down and then we had a break of structure again. So I just had I just had to study price and try to understand what the market was doing. So I kind of like saw this is a 15 minutes engulfed candle, this particular zone. So that's what price was reacting to. So I say to myself, if I get the normal confirmation I normally get for my entries, then I'll still take the trade. Yeah, that's I would take a sell. So when I got this break of structure, I will normally wait for price to pull back and then break another structure here. So this where price broke again. And when price pulled back, this is a, I think a 3 minutes, 3 minutes on. This is a 3 minutes on this particular one. So when price pulled back again into this range, that was when I decided to take the trade, and my stop was just a few pips above this one. And yeah, I think that was it for Monday. So I think one is to almost one is to 30. Yeah, one is 27. Well, I partial out most of the trades somewhere here. This okay. So this where I took my first partial. I partial out I think 20% just to cover my initial risk. That was here. Partial out the trade here, and then I went to break even when I got this 1 minute break construction. So I think that was it for Monday. So going over to Tuesday. Mhm. Yeah, I don't think I took a trade on Tuesday, but I think it was on pound USD. I don't even remember. So Tuesday, there was no trade on Tuesday. On Wednesday. So we had this to. I was looking at this as my break construction on the 15 minutes. I like this as a break construction on the 15 minutes. And normally when we get a break construction, it's like when we get a break, when we have a break construction, we want to see price pull back and then we'll look for that continuation. So I was basically looking just to take a trade, maybe just a short sell into one of these supply zones, which we had this one here, and we also had this extreme one here. So, and another way I was looking at this was that I was looking at this as some kind of shift in market structure. We have a break, price pulls back into this new range, now form a lower high here, and then we have another push making a lower low, and then we just had that bearish market structure, that's lower highs and lower lows. So when price, we had this to be like our last lower high, and then we had another push making a lower low. So when price was somewhere here, that was London session, so I was actually active. So I was looking to take a sell since we had a break of structure. We have a supply zone here to work with. So I was just looking for my entry and criteria. I just needed to get the confirmation I normally use for entries, and then I just do the trade. So let me just let me zoom in on the chart so able to see the trade. So this was the trade. So I was looking at this. So actually a break-even trade. This is where I wanted to take my purchase, but price didn't get it, so it ended break-even. So I was looking at this as my break construction. So we have break construction, price pulling back. We did respect the range, but if you maybe try to take a sell from this supply zone, you definitely stop that. Maybe that's, I think if you have like maybe extra, uh, maybe something like 5 pips. So 5 pips is too much. Maybe like extra 5 pips, or I don't know. If you had maybe like an extra space above this range, maybe you would have stayed on the trade. But I don't normally take the trades from the first pullback. So I waited for price to make a lower low, and we had a break construction here. So decided to take the trade from this particular range here, and my stop loss was just above the range. So we did get the entry we needed, and um, so I think my network is really bad. This is one of the reasons why um I didn't upload the first video I recorded, like just bad network and stuff like that. But so here, let's continue from Wednesday. So when we got the break of structure, that's the second break of structure, I took the trade from this particular supply zone here. So this is what I used as my entry, and then stop loss was just a few pips above the high. So on this break of structure, that's when I moved my stop to break even, and then I didn't really cash out anything on the trade. Or I was later stopped out for a break even on the trade, and price just kept moving down. Also, I did try to take another trade somewhere here, but price didn't really come into this one. So I was not trading. So the next show was on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, it was on Thursday. So here on Thursday, I was looking at this high here. So we have a break construction, right? And we want to see price. That's we have this break construction, we have price breaking above this high here. And normally we want to see price pull back after the break construction. So when I was looking at this high here, the on Euro USD we had price making a higher high. That's from this high we have here. We have price from this side we had here. We have price making a higher high. But on pound USD, we didn't have a higher high. Instead, we had a lower high. So I was thinking, okay, price is most likely going to pull back. Is more likely going to pull back than continue the bullish push. So when I started getting, I got a reaction from this supply zone here, and then we had this. So I was looking at this in different ways, in the sense that I was saying, okay, you can see that these are great construction here. So price pulling back into this range, respects the range, and then we have this push out again. So when we had this second break construction, so what I would normally do is that I will take a trade from the supply zone, but I think where I messed up a little bit was that I was trying to refine the zone so I can get a smaller stop loss and stuff like that. So even if I did take the trade from maybe this zone here, I think the stop was actually very big. So I didn't feel comfortable with taking the trade there. So I tried to refine it to this particular zone here. And yeah, to be around somewhere around 5.5 pips. But price didn't really like I didn't really actually feel comfortable doing that. So I didn't even just do it. I just kept looking. I said maybe I'll take some kind of like a double confirmation and stuff like that. So price pushed back up, taps into this range, which was actually really big for me to take a trade for. So this was the double confirmation I wanted to take in the sense that I was looking at this as some kind of break or structure, price pulling back, respecting this new range and breaking out that structure. So I wanted to take the sell from this engulfed candle. Then I I got stopped out in this particular trade, like just went straight to my SL. So this was a loss I took on Euro USD on Thursday on that session. So when I saw price, yeah, this was like a break of structure, but when price kind of like broke below this low again, I was like, the only confirmed structure here is bearish in the sense that we have something like this. Say we have like a break. mm, we- mm, so we had like a bullish market structure initially, and then we now have price breaking the structure. Now, when we have a break construction like this, we can say that yes, we've had a break construction, but it's not yet confirmed. So we want to see price pull back and make a lower high and a new lower low. Then we can see that this structure, this very structure now is confirmed. So that's exactly what I was looking at. And so even if since we have a confirmed bearish break construction, even if price breaks above this high and then breaks down again, breaking this low, I'll take a trade if I get a an engulfed candle here or maybe just a supply zone. I can take the sell there because the structure that is confirmed is bearish and the current structure of the market is bearish. So we have confirmed bearish structure here. Despite us having this break and then another break here. So I was like, okay, I'm taking a sell from here this extreme supply and so I put my entry and then my SO was just above this high but price didn't come into the zone so I saw price what was it so I think that this is a 5 minutes buy to sell week. I don't really want to like switch between time frames because of network and stuff like that. So we had this 5 minutes buy to sell week. So I was looking at this as some kind of demand range here. So when price broke this demand range, I was like, okay, we have order flow, that's the 1 minute order flow aligning the 1 minute structure. So price pulled back up again, respected this newly created supply range, and then we had another break here. So when price pulled this low, I used this engulfed candle here as my entry and my SL was just above the engulfed candle. So price just like slightly pulled back into the zone and I was tapped into the trade. So that was the second trade I took on Thursday. That's from Euro USD. So I was targeting this supply zone here on the 15 minutes. So we actually did get a good trade on Thursday. That's 21 hours. So that same Thursday, I did take another trade, which was a buy. In the sense, I was looking at this because what actually happened was that initially this was my main zone. But when I saw price breaking structure and respecting the zone, adjust it because this is an inside bar candle, this particular 15-minute zone. This is 15 minutes engulfed, sorry, inside bar candle. So I just like extended it when I saw this reaction. So that's why I did, and I tried to take a buy here, but it ended as a break-even trade. Just same reason we had price. I was looking at it as price tapping into a demand zone. We have break construction. So when we break construction, price pulls back, confirms the range, and then we have another break construction here. Have another break construction. So when price pulled back into the range, that's when I actually had to market execute on this one. I didn't really have time to set a limit for that. So when price was pushing down, I had to market execute. And then just put my stop loss below this particular zone, which wasn't very safe. I wanted to partial out at this particular zone here. This 1:5. So when we had this break of structure here, I moved my stops to break even and then was looking to see price come up into this high. I was actually targeting this high here. So say if price comes up into this range, then I'll partial out. I'll take my first partials. But when I came back on the chart, price was already somewhere down, so I couldn't take any partials. So I had to wait, and then price later came for my SL, which was at break even. And I still tried to take another buy when price came to the actual zone I had, but it ended as I think that's yeah, break even trade because we had this. Okay, I was looking at this one as a shift in market structure. I didn't look at it as a break of structure because if I looked at it that way, this would be my high is somewhere here, and this would be where we had our break of structure. So I'm looking at there some shift in market structure. We have the break here. Price pulls back, respects this range. We break. I now have a break of structure here, and I just wanted to take the trade somewhere here. And then um I did get the entries, but price only moved up a little bit and then it came back for my SL. So I think that was it for Euro USD. Friday was something else. Good. Tried to print trade on Friday. I think it's not Friday. But it was tough trading on Friday. I just kept mapping out zones and then Friday just kept doing what it was doing. So I think that's it for Euro USD. And yeah, honestly, I would have loved to recap some of the trades I took on Pound USD. I think I took some losses on Pound USD and I missed a lot of trades also on Pound USD. But because of time, this is already 45 minutes and stuff like that. So I don't think I will have the time to not really like I will have the time, but I don't want this video to be very long. Like it's already long, so I don't want to like extend it. Okay. So maybe next time I'll try to do separate videos for them. That's make an individual video for Euro USD and that for Pound USD. So that's it, guys, for today's outlook and review. And if you enjoyed the video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel to help the channel grow and stuff like that. So that's it, guys. And I wish every one of you a successful trading week. So bye for now.